Welcome to Monster Hunter World. It's Abyss back with another Monster Hunter video. In this video today we have the Mini Gold Crown for Deviljho. And I was actually looking for the large gold crown for this Baroth right here. But I'm going to pause the frame, and when I was looking at them both together, side by side, he looked a little bit smaller than normal. He wasn't the same size as the Baroth, but he was getting close to it. So he definitely piqued my interest where I said, okay, let me go finish this Baroth off real quick, and then I'll go back and I'll fight this Deviljho and see what I get out of it. So right now we're going to follow him until he gets more to like a flat surface. We're in the Wildspire Waste. There's a bunch of hills there, and that's not a real good place to basically try to measure for him. But we're going to start on his right side, and like always, we're going to throw down a shock trap. Alright, so here we go. Now you can see where those little scales are right there, and my body is basically, my head is almost halfway into his leg, his upper leg. And you can see where right now, or towards the left, is where the joint is, or my head, top of my head is almost where that joint ends, or the top of the joint is. I like using those darker scales that are in the line, like you'll see here and again. Let's see where we got. Alright. There you go. So that was at the lowest point when you shock him on the left side. And see, my head is kind of like right below those darker scales. Now I know when I was messing around with them before and I was going for a large, I noticed that your head won't even touch his leg when you shock it. So like your head will always be just underneath it. So now with this mini, what I'm noticing is that my head is actually going into his leg, and he's going to where those darker scales are, where they're a little bit bigger and it would align. So that's kind of what I'm noticing. Even like right here, you see where my head's going into that leg, and it's going into where those darker scales are too on the left side. This is another trick that I started using, is where I'll put the ghillie mantle on, and so here's another one. It's into his leg again and into those dark row of scales. But when I put the ghillie mantle on, he goes into like a detective mode. He starts to squint down more, like as if he has a shock trap on. So it's another good way in case you run out of shock traps if you want to measure them. So now we're on the right side, and you can see him going into those scales again. He is kind of a different one to try to measure. He has longer legs. Here we go, here's another one. Kind of underneath those scales now. But if you notice both sides, my head is going into his leg. But like I was trying to say earlier, he's kind of a different kind of a measurement. He has longer legs. So it's not like a black Diablos where the large is, you'll be under his 90-degree angle. And for a large, you'll have a gap. And then for a mini, you'll be like almost 75 to 80% into his leg. So he's a little different. Like with a large, you would be more or less underneath that leg, and it would have a gap. And then with a mini, you would kind of go into his leg, maybe about 30% or so. But other than that, I guys hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.